Your escape.
Hello, and thanks for spending your Christmas evening with me here on Turner Classic Movies. I'm Dave Karger. Tonight we featured a different kind of holiday lineup, exploring the dynamic collaboration of actor Jimmy Stewart and director Alfred Hitchcock. Up next is Hitchcock's remake of one of his own films. Released in 1956 by Paramount, it's The Man Who Knew Too Much. Both this movie and Hitchcock's original 1934 British version tell roughly the same story. A couple goes on vacation with their child when the father accidentally discovers secret information that he's not meant to know, and villains then try everything they can to stop him from leaking their secret. Hitchcock decided to remake his 1934 film of the same name, which starred Leslie Banks, Edna Best, and Peter Lorre, because by 1956, he recognized he was simply a much better director. In Francois Truffaut's famous interviews with the director, Hitchcock said of The Man Who Knew Too Much that the first version was the work of a talented amateur, but, quote, the second version was made by a professional. Well, as a professional, Hitchcock was given a larger budget and could now make his film a more polished production with an extravagant setting in Switzerland rather than Morocco, and with bigger stars. Both Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day were bankable box office draws in the 1950s, and Stewart had already developed a lucrative working relationship with Hitchcock over the years, beginning in 1948. The Man Who Knew Too Much would be the third of their 4 collaborations. It would be Doris Day's first and only film with Hitchcock, and she sings her signature tune, Que Sera Sera, in the picture. From 1956, here is The Man Who Knew Too Much. Alfred Hitchcock would go on to work with Jimmy Stewart in one more film after The Man Who Knew Too Much. Their final picture proved to be their most celebrated, Vertigo, from 1958, which we showed earlier tonight. Hitchcock found Stewart to be a nice, affable actor that could do light comedy, but also bring a much darker side to the characters he played. Stewart notably began channeling his darker side on screen a few years earlier in a series of westerns with director Anthony Mann. By the time Hitchcock and Stewart filmed The Man Who Knew Too Much, Stewart had become accustomed to Hitchcock's working style. Hitchcock didn't believe in rehearsals and often didn't communicate much about his film's characters with the actors at all, opting instead to have them perform with their hearts and not their heads. Stewart remembered later that this style of directing confused star Doris Day, who Stewart recalled was thrown for a loop while filming. When Day asked Stewart about Hitchcock's unpredictable behavior, Stewart responded, "Well, that's the way he is." Up next, we've got Stewart and Hitchcock's first picture together, released in 1948, and some argue it's their best. Stay tuned.
Next on TCM, Rope, then Strangers on a Train, and later, The Long, Long Trailer. Hit the road with TCM tonight.
1990.